Hello, Daniel here for All Media Create, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more in terms of the game industry today. So we're going to be talking about a little thing called flowchart. Now, what is a flowchart? So a flowchart is basically an outline of a story or character or gameplay mechanic that basically either flows downwards or horizontal. It depends on whichever way that you prefer the layout. So it will, in terms of story, we'll focus more on story content here. A flowchart will outline the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. So um, how does the character develop? So if, say, you take a role-playing game, it will start over here at this point, and it will probably have the beginning idea, what happens at story point 1, what happens at story point 2, story point 3, and so on and so forth. What happens all the way through. It'll include any kind of details such as what choices the player can have, what special abilities the player is allowed at certain points throughout the game. Story events. What kind of story events are gonna take place throughout this chart? And basically, by knowing the flow of events or the flow of these story points, you can then sort of take bits and rearrange them. So taking it outside of the game design industry and applying the same concept to writing a book, they would use a similar means. So they would have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and all the story points therein as well. All the characters, when you first see them, will be a part of this flowchart. But what it allows you to do is basically have an overview of the content of whatever it is that you're creating. So it's useful not only in games design but also within writing for short stories or stories of any kind, really. It'll allow you to see the story as a whole, and then you can take parts of the story and see how they work in different orders. So you could take the ending and say, well, okay, let's see what that works as being an introduction. Maybe they're having a flashback or something like that, or a flash forward. What's happening? It gives you an overview of what's taking place. So you can take that onto the big scale or focusing on smaller elements as well. So a flowchart can also be applied to a dialogue between two characters, between the main character and a non-playable character, an NPC. How is that interaction built? You know, you'll have question A that the NPC gives to the player, and then you'll have a list of 3 potential choices for the player to make, and depending on what choice is decided, will then lead it towards a different narrative flow. So it could start here in this box, and then the outcome could lead it to this way, or it could lead it to this way, or it could lead down here. And then you have 3 different boxes for another set of possible outcomes. And where did that go? Where did they go? Sorry. And then it just flows from the right, from the left, or whichever way you're looking at this, to that side, or from here downwards. And that's what a flow chart is. It's basically outlining either a story driven narrative or a dialogue flow, and that is pretty much what a flowchart is. And it's very useful for not only, like I say, game design, but also for making your own scripts. So try it out, see what you think. In the meantime, again, check out All Media Create, the website, and on there is a free guide on how to work effectively in a team. There's links in there to Amazon links. Feel free to click on some of them, and you'll be basically, anything that you purchase well then you'll be contributing to the actual channel.